Hey guys, it's Mrs. Montague here, and in this video I'm going to give you an overview of how to use Google Docs. You can get to Google Docs by typing in docs.google.com up in the URL, or you can click on your little grid over here I've mentioned before and go to Google Docs that way. If I click on Google Docs, it's going to take me to a page where I can start a new document, and they've got a bunch of templates in here built for, or I can just start a blank document, just like Microsoft Word you could do. And you can also see any recent documents that you have. If you scroll down, it'll show you anything you've opened or edited recently. So I'm going to go ahead and click to create a blank document. And you'll see here, it's just opening my blank document for me right away. You can give your document a title simply by clicking up here where it says Untitled Document and putting in whatever title you want. I'm going to go ahead, and this is my instructional video doc. And so that's going to be the name of my file. You can do a lot of the same things with Google Docs that you can do with Word. So I'm just going to run you through some of the basic things that you can do. I'm assuming you guys pretty much know how to do some word formatting already, so this should be a simple overview. Under File, of course, you've got your options to create a new document from here as well, but you can also download this document as a Word document or a PDF, something like that. If you need to, you can email it to somebody as an attachment. You can look at your version history, so if you've edited this document and you want to revert to a previous version, you can look at that history and put it on a previous version if you've messed up and want to move back. You can rename the document from here. You can move it to a new location in your drive, delete it from here, and of course print and change your page setup. So your page setup has the basic things that you'd expect to see on a page setup page: portrait, landscape. You can select your paper size. You can change your page color if you want it to be purple or something crazy. And you can select all of your margins. When you're ready, you simply click OK and you're good to go. Under Edit, you've got your basic word editing options. You can undo, redo, you can cut, copy, paste, paste without formatting, delete, select all, or find and replace from here. Quick keyboard shortcuts for these things that you guys might want to know. If you do Control C, that will copy. So that's the Control C as in cat or C as in Charlie on your keyboard, and that will copy any text that you've got selected. Control A will select all of your text. Control A as in apple. To paste, you would select Control V as in Victor, and then to cut text out, you'd want to do Control X. So you can see all of those keyboard shortcuts listed right next to the option in this screen. So it's an easy way to remember those things. If you forget those keyboard shortcuts, this will remind you. Under View, you can select all of these different options to view your document, pretty similar to Word. Under Insert, you've got the options to insert an image. You can insert an image from your computer if you've got it stored locally in your files. Or you can insert an image from Drive or your Google Photos section. You can also search using Google and insert an image from the internet if you find something useful there, or you can even choose to take a picture with your built-in webcam. You can insert tables, Google Drawings. You can also create a new Google drawing from here. You can insert charts with Word as well. You can also insert some special characters, some equations in here, just basic equations, headers and footers, page numbers for your document, page breaks, links, etc. So all kinds of things that you can insert there. Under Format, this is all of your text formatting. So you can see you've got your text options here, basic text options, paragraph styles, which you want to create headings and things like that for your document to have an outline that's easy for people to navigate through. You can do your alignment here as well, so align it left, center, right. Your line spacing options, you can select to choose columns or not. Insert bullets and numbering. Again, option to insert headers, footers, page numbers. Some tables, images, and formatting and borders and lines here as well. So you can see a few of these things are grayed out, mostly because I just don't have anything in this document yet. If you come down to your main toolbar here, you can see most of those text options are also built in right here, as well as the options to insert an image, which is something that people do a lot. If I had text in here, let's just say, let's add some text. Notice that this little plus button with the little in it means I can add a comment. So let's say I want to comment on this piece of text. I can simply click on that and make a comment. This is useful if you are editing a student document that they've submitted, or if you are collaboratively working on a document with somebody else. You might not want to change the information that they've put in there, but you can leave them a comment in that comment box. You see, if I box, I get the option to resolve the comment if I've seen the comment and fixed it. I can also click this drop down here in my hamburger to either edit, delete, or create a link to this comment. So those are your options there as well if you're a document editor on here. And anyone can see the comments or things like that that you have left, as long as this document is shared with them in some way. So under our, let's see, we left off at format, and that's all of our text formatting again. So under tools here, we've got our spelling and grammar, word count tools. We've got our suggested edits. We can compare documents to other documents, which is a useful feature maybe if you're checking for a plagiarism or wanting to compare different versions of a document that you might have saved. You can compare documents that way. And you can do, the dictionary, translate things. There's voice typing in here that you can enable, and all of these different things that you can see under tools. So a bunch of settings there as well. Under add-ons, there are specific add-ons that you can get to work with Google Docs. So there might be something in here if you click Get Add-ons that you want to use. So for instance, you can see the EasyBib bibliography add-on is something that you can add to Google Docs to help you with your bibliographies if you're writing a research paper or something like that. So there's a bunch of options, things that you can add on to that will modify the ability to do things in here in some way. So you might want to explore those if you need some more functionality for Google Docs. And of course, under help, you can get specific docs help. You can get training on how to use Google Docs. You can check for updates, report problems, and look at a list of keyboard shortcuts. But again, also under most of these menus, you can see those keyboard shortcuts right there listed out for you. So that will help you out to remember some of those keyboard shortcuts. Last thing I'm really going to cover here with Google Docs is the sharing options. So the great thing about all of our G Suite apps is how easy they're integrated together and how easy they are to share with others. So on this big share button over here, I can enter the names of people specifically that I want to share them with. So per usual, I'll start typing in Mr. Decker's name as my husband, and I see his email address pop up here. If I click on him, I'm going to share this document with him. I can choose to add a note here if I want to or not. And you can see under here, I can also choose to send him a notification email or not. I usually send that notification just so this person knows that something has been shared with them. It just goes to their email. Under this drop-down menu, you can see it looks like a pencil right now. That means he can edit this document if I share it with him this way. If I select that he can comment, he won't be able to actually edit any of the text that I've put into the document, but he will be able to add a comment like I showed earlier. Under view, he's going to be able to view the document. He won't be able to comment or edit it in any way. He would only be able to view this document and not make any changes. So based on what you're sharing, you want to make sure that those settings are correct before you share out with a student or another teacher or something like that. Note that in Google Classroom, you do have different options for document sharing based on the assignments and things that you can do in Classroom. So if you need more information about that, you can hop over to the Google Classroom how-to video, which I do explain all of that in that video. So if you are ready to give him editing access, you can go ahead and click send. I'm actually going to go ahead and click up here where it says get shareable link on the top corner of this little window. So when I click on get shareable link, you can see now it's going to give me some options for a I can send out. Right now it's set to anyone at Cherokee County Public Schools can view as long as I send them the link. I can also make it so anyone at Cherokee County Schools can comment or anyone at Cherokee County Schools can edit the link. And I can also turn link sharing completely off. So if I don't want people to access this document by a link, I can turn that link sharing completely off. Nobody will be able to access it unless I specifically share it. There are a few more options here as well, but I'm not going to go over that stuff because this stuff is basic. This is mostly what you're going to want to use here. If you go to your advanced sharing settings as well, there are a few important things to note, especially for documents that you need to maintain some privacy for. So the additional settings you can see have popped up here. I can send a copy of this invitation to my husband, Mr. Decker, to myself. And I can also choose to actually paste the document into the email. So he'll have it both as a shared file as well as a document within the email so he can actually view it that way. And then I also get the owner settings down here. So I created this file, I'm the owner of it, and I can select a few additional options to protect this safety of this document. I can prevent editors from changing access and adding new people. So for the MTSS document, for instance, that we all share, that option is turned on. So none of you should be able to share that document with anybody else at this point because only the owner can. And that would be Miss Julie Hughes. So if somebody needs access to that document and they don't have it, they need to get in touch with the document owner in order to get that access. And you can also choose to disable the options to download, print, and copy. So if you have the option or the ability to edit this document, you're not going to be able to download it, print it, or copy it in any way. So that's just something else that can kind of protect that document so you know that nobody's making a copy of it and making changes that you don't want to be made, and that nobody's printing it and downloading it and sending it out that way. So those are some great options that they've got built in to kind of protect some of their documents a little bit more than others if that's something you need to do. So I'm just going to actually click cancel and get completely out of this. I am done. I don't need to share this with anyone. I'm going to instantly delete it. So those are our basic settings here. Now, once I've done that share, you can see up here, it's telling me that people at Cherokee County Public Schools with the link can view this document because I turned that link sharing on, and that's fine. Again, I'm just going to instantly delete this. You can see up at the top in our toolbar as well, I have this message that's telling me all changes have been saved in Drive. So everything I've done has been automatically saved into my Google Drive, and I don't have to do anything additional to save my work. As long as you're connected to the internet, this is going to continue auto-saving for you. You can also choose to turn on offline editing capabilities on for a specific document. And you would do that by clicking on this Make Available Offline option right here. It's not working for me right now because I have offline access turned completely on for all of my Google Drive. So if I go offline all of a sudden, I'll still be able to continue editing this document, but my changes won't show up to anyone else this document might be shared with until I connect to the internet again. So it is important to note that those changes don't show up until you connect to the internet again. So you've got to regularly connect to the internet if you want people to be able to see those changes you're making. And that about does it for our Google document video. If you've got any questions on how to use Google Docs, if you're having trouble with something specific in Google Docs, please let me know and I would be happy to help you out. All the best.